In this video, I'm going to be doing some reviews and giving some feedback on church live streams. I'm going to be giving comments on video as well as audio and anything else that comes to mind as I'm reviewing these live stream videos that were submitted in our Facebook group. We have a Churchfront Facebook group. You should definitely join it. There's lots of great community happening there, people sharing tips with one another. And a few days ago, I posted this. Who wants my feedback on their church's live streams? Share it down below in the comments. It may or may not make it into one of the next YouTube videos, and I promise to be kind and constructive. Along with a link to your stream, include details about your camera and audio mixing setup. So you can see there are over 70 comments on this post. I'm just going to start from the top and work my way through. I'll probably have time to do 5 or 6 today. And then if this video is helpful, if you guys really like this type of feedback, I think you're going to learn a lot from seeing other people's streams, then maybe I'll make some more down the road. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, smash the thumbs up button, check out all of our live streaming training for churches below this video in the description. So let's go ahead and dive in. So Eric, he submitted his stream right here, and he said it's one manned XA11, I think it's by Canon, one unmanned DSLR, 3 Marshall point of view cameras, Dante audio from Allen and Heath iLive T112 to Ableton Live, broadcast mix template on an iMac using a virtual sound card, and then aggregate device use so we can monitor with a PreSonus 2-channel audio interface. Audio sent back over Dante to the iLive to the ATEM switcher. Awesome, let's check it out, Eric. So they've got their stream hosted in Boxcast. So they've got the countdown going on here. Service starts.
Follow and subscribe to our
A little welcome by the pastors. So they had a tight follow cam on a worship leader, a wide of the whole stage. So I've got the console for my universal audio interface I'm using to record this here. And you can see their audio is metering kind of way down here. For your church's live stream, I would like to see your audio peaking around -3 decibels. And then, probably somewhere between -3, -6. Obviously, you don't want it going over 0 or it's going to clip. So that's my initial reaction to the audio side. It just could be overall louder. And what I would do, Eric, is in your Ableton template, you could just use some of the mastering plugins on your master output track to kind of just boost the gain a couple decibels there. Make sure there's some slow compression on that as well, just to make sure it can kind of slowly compress the audio, level it out for you. I do a little bit of light mastering, but overall, I'd want the audio to be louder. Another tip I would have is maybe consider a different font. It looks like you're using all caps Helvetica here. It's a little too generic for my taste. I like all caps Futura, so Bethel does. I like all caps Montserrat, or also all caps the CMG Sans. I think that's the one made by Church Motion Graphics. I could be wrong on which one you're using. It just looks like the Helvetica, which is kind of plain looking. So I would use something just doesn't look so generic. And then maybe the final tip I would give you, Eric, is when it comes to the lighting and color, Andrew's skin tones look a little pink, in my opinion. I don't know if it's the case for the other worship leaders. Like here I kind of like the color skin tones from this wider camera. And sometimes it's just hard when you're trying to match different cameras here. I think her skin tones look pretty good. Same here. So I don't know why Andrew's just kind of looked a little bit pinker. So I don't know if there's any in-camera settings you can adjust on whatever this tighter camera is to move the tint from the magenta to maybe a tad bit towards the green side of the spectrum. Maybe color balance would also help with this as well. And I think your pastor looks fine here. So I don't know if maybe your key lights are just kind of soft on Andrew. Maybe he doesn't have like a good, strong key light to make it so he's not looking as pink in this image here. And my last tip, primarily with the mix, is it sounds a little dry. And I'm always like, a lot of live streams sound a little too dry to my taste. You guys might listen to my live stream at Mission Lakewood and be like, you're using too much verb, too much delay. I just like it. It just sounds really pleasing, gives it a sense of space. So I would try increasing the verb, and at strategic points, increasing the delay a little bit more too in your Ableton template. It'll just kind of help it. So I think the vocals will kind of sit back a little bit more in the mix. I think sometimes in a lot of our mixes, vocals are just like way too forward, and then it just sounds awkward when we're listening to it online. Because here I would have wanted to hear more of Andrew's guitar solos that he's got going on here, maybe more instruments in general to balance that out. Overall though, Eric, great progress you guys are making on your live stream. Let's move on to Jason. Jason said he's got 5 cameras and Pro 7 fed into a Blackmagic 40x40 hub, and then to a Blackmagic Television Studio 4K Pro. Audio is fed from front of house to an online mixing board. So I'm guessing it's just a second digital mixing console they've got set up for their mix there. So let's go ahead and check out their latest stream. So the first thing you'll notice compared to the last live stream, they've got the audio as loud, I think, as it should be. So you'll see it metering here between -6 to -3. Cause the God of the mountain, he's the God of the valley, and there's not a place you're... So far, I really like what I hear. The mix looks great. We'll talk more about video stuff. My first piece of advice is I would rethink how you're doing lyrics here. I'm not a huge fan of like the gradient here on the bottom half. I think a lot of people are like, oh, you can't see, text if there's not like a gradient or a box behind them. I don't know. I wouldn't underestimate it. It's really not that hard to read white text over a video background. If you have a really, really bright worship space, maybe it's harder, but even our worship space at Mission Lakewood's pretty bright. We have a lot of natural light coming in, and I don't have any gradient behind our text, and it's nice, bold, modern text. We're using Futura, and I like it a lot. So here again, this looks like Helvetica or something pretty generic. I would consider some font alternatives. So consider, as I've already mentioned this today, but consider CMG Sans. It's a free font by Jeff and his team over there at Church Motion Graphics. I just really prefer the look of this font. When you turn it for good, you turn it for good. Yeah. I believe it, I believe it. You take what the enemy meant for evil, and you turn it for good. You turn it for good. Yes, you do, yeah. You take... All right, so first I want to say your guys' band is freaking awesome. Sounds amazing. This guy's got some pipes. Really, really good. So what's the thing though is I feel like your video setup, I like how you have obviously plenty of angles going on here, but the actual cameras, the sensors, the lenses that you've got going on here, I feel like it's not doing justice for the quality of content you guys are producing, especially from the band here. So yeah, Jason, I didn't see any details on what type of cameras you're using. They look like they're some camcorders or some PTZ cameras. And some things too I noticed is the framing is kind of awkward here or there. Look, here's like a handheld camera. The quality just doesn't look super awesome. And I think I saw your camera op walking around on stage. I can't really tell what exactly model of camera he was using for that guitar shot. Mix-wise, I have very little to add to how to make your mix better. I would say for this vocalist in particular, he's got a really dark tone to his voice, so maybe I would try to bring him out a little bit more in the mix, either just bump up his fader a tiny bit more, or also just dial in his EQ a little bit, maybe bump those higher mids or something like that, just to get him to cut through the mix a tad bit more. But back to the camera stuff. What I would do if I were in your shoes, I would go to your leadership, whoever's in charge of funds at your church, and be like, hey, our live stream is really awesome, but our cameras are really holding us back. I think you guys would really benefit from cameras with the larger sensors like Micro Four Thirds sensors like the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, the GH5, or you could also get some cinema cameras like the Canon C200 or the new Canon C70 that's coming out. I would really consider looking into that. You guys look like a large enough church where, you know, I just think you could swing some nicer cameras in this setup, and the result will make a huge difference at the end of the day. And the only other thing too is I don't know how you're encoding and getting your stream online. The audio, like I said, sounds good. The video feed, I'm not sure how things are being encoded and sent online. You might want to get the dedicated hardware encoder by Resi, or just something that's going to make sure that things are getting compressed properly and it's not looking super grainy for your end viewers online.
Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is alive, forever lifted high. Your name cannot be overcome. Say his name, Jesus.
Your guys' band is way too good to have the video quality of where it's at. I feel like the music quality is way up here, but video is like not caught up. Another tip I would have is for your lead worship leader, have a good tighter follow cam shot of them. Like, so she's leading the song right now. Sometimes it's kind of confusing though. Like I can't really tell who's actually leading the song. And I think for worship leaders, we want to be able to just get a closer look at their facial expressions and make it clear they're the ones leading the song. So I would want like a medium close shot that would be framed kind of like this for her. So it'd just be, yeah, just a lot closer, look a lot better. So that's all I have for you on this one. You need better cameras with better sensors and better lenses. It's totally going to be worth it. So we got David here next. He had a live worship night. All right, so first, I think in this case, your overall mix is too loud. Like it's just whatever the master output is, it's just like it's just kind of slamming the top there. Like you can see, it looks like you got a limiter, so it's not actually like clipping like here in my metering. But look how high this is.
Out of the darkness into your glorious day.
So I would definitely consider using some vocal tuning on your vocalist, especially because it sounds like you are using a DAW or something like that. You said you created your own broadcast mix for your church. I'm assuming you're using a DAW of some sort. So get Waves, Real Tune, whatever it's called. And again, that's not to diss your vocalist, but it's hard when they can't, in a live environment, sometimes can't hear themselves as well. Just getting exactly on pitch. It's hard to do, and you're going to hear that a lot more online than you would in person. So get some vocal tuning set up. At my church, we just use the Waves Real Tune plugin, and we just put it in chromatic mode, and we're all able to sing close enough, to the right notes that it just bumps it ever so slightly and just kind of locks everything into place. Drums and cymbals are too loud, and maybe some of the cymbal issue is because maybe it's bleeding into other microphones. I'm trying to see. I can't even see your drummer. Yeah, I can't see your drummer, but there's a good chance maybe the cymbals are all bleeding into a lot of these vocal mics up here because you got like 4 vocalists. Stage doesn't look super big, so maybe you're just getting a lot of bleed from the cymbals into whoever's lead vocal mic is closest to your drum set. So consider getting some sort of baffling or shield to reduce stage volume. It's interesting. I noticed later on in the stream, the levels went down to around metering at -6. So it wasn't, you did fix it midstream. That's I think his acoustic guitar is way too prominent in this mix. When you have a full band, acoustic can kind of sit back further. It should just be kind of like, sounds like a shaker with a tone to it, basically. I am a child of God. Video wise, I like the lighting. I like the angles. I think your framing's good. So not a whole lot I would change there. So I think for you guys, just kind of focus on dialing in that mix. Because again, you got a really great band, but just kind of getting things to mesh a little bit nicer. You could take our broadcast mix mastery course and use our template and use some great plugins there. But yeah, I would say audio would be the priority here. Moving on, I think I got time for one more today. Then I got to hop on a coaching call here in a few minutes. So this is fun. Let me know what you guys think. If you like this video so far, smash the thumbs up button. I think I'll just keep doing this because I learn a lot when I do this. I think you guys also probably could learn a thing or two as well, just looking at other churches. But yeah, let's go to the next one by Bruno. We're pre-recording for our offices. I'd love the feedback. Love, not live the feedback. Canon cameras, a 90D, 60D, M50, and an RP in a variety of lenses, not lemons, lenses. Audio for a message was captured with a Shure VP82 process in Adobe Edition. Church of 600 meeting in high school. Bought land for a building, but haven't built it yet. Decided to have services pre-recorded from the office because easier, cheaper. It made it easier for the lead pastor to engage online. Great.
Desire is now satisfied here in your love.
Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you. Lord, there's nothing. Nothing is better than you.
So far, I really like what I see in terms of what I hear. I think vocals are a little too hot in the mix. I really like the lighting you guys have. I like the good kind of, what would you call it, more your key light coming on the front here with some color coming from behind.
My failures and flaws, Lord, you've seen them all, and you still call me friend.
You know, with camera movement, you got to be careful not to overdo it sometimes. I like the natural handheld look, but sometimes you just want it to be a little more subtle. In my opinion, this looks a little bit too much overdone. Some of the movement.
'Cause the God of the mountain, He's the God of the valley, and there's not a place Your mercy and grace won't find me again. Oh, there's nothing better than You.
Yeah, and I think eventually you guys might want to move towards getting all of the same camera model because you can tell between the different camera angles, there's some differences in coloring, which for most viewers isn't going to be a huge deal, but for someone anal like me about camera stuff, it is. So try to get some just consistent camera bodies. And again, I'd recommend Blackmagic Pocket 4Ks or 6Ks. Those are going to double great if you're doing a pre-recorded session like this or doing something live. You guys got a great worship band. It's awesome. This is so cool. I think just the quality you're able to get with the cameras you're using and then using this little office room, like it just looks great. Love the energy of your band.
Which are key to understanding just how great is Jesus. All right, we're going to open up our Bible.
Pastor sounds great. I think the framing's great. I would add a little bit more contrast to this shot. It just looks like it's a little too flat. Look like you shot it in a log and you never graded it or something like that. So make sure you bump up the contrast so the especially the shadows are just, I would pull those down a little bit. You could bump the highlights up a tad bit. But yeah, I think some people, I was joking with one of our guys the other day. He's like trying to, he was making a YouTube video and he sent me the color profile and a shot of what the color looked like. And I'm like, dude, you're trying to be like a hipster indie filmmaker and like just shoot everything in a super flat look. And I don't want that. I like to have some contrast because all said and done, I would just add some contrast to your pastor's video that you have right here. Okay, guys, well, I actually ended up only making it through 4 of these live streams today. What do you think? Should I make this a regular thing that I come out with these types of videos? Let me know down below in the comments. Join our Facebook group, and then you can add your church's stream to this thread as well, because I'm just going to keep working down this one thread that we have here in our Churchfront Facebook group. I got to go hop on a live streaming and broadcast mix coaching call with our students in worship ministry school. If you would like to be a part of that and actually get real-time feedback from me, we can talk strategy. I can look at your stream. I can tell you what you need to do to improve the look or the sound of it. Then join Worship Ministry School today. I'll put a link down below this video. Go to worshipministryschool.com/apply. You're going to fill out a form. You're going to schedule a time to hop on a call with one of our coaches. We'll talk more about your goals. And then if it makes sense, we'll invite you to join our program. So click that link below to learn more and get started today. And I do want to mention we have some standalone courses down below this video that you don't get coaching access to. That's for our accelerator program students, which I was talking about a minute ago that you need to apply for. But if you want just access to our simple one-off courses, we have a few of them available. The beginner live stream course, the advanced live streaming course, and then broadcast mix mastery, all of which you can learn more about and sign up for by clicking the links below. Thanks so much for watching. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, share it with all your worship ministry friends. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.